Alright, it's about 10 o'clock. I haven't had no activity at all today. But any day in the woods is a good day. Way I look at it. Earlier I said we're going to have a discussion. I've seen a couple of things last night on Facebook. And actually today sitting here scrolling on my phone before trying to find the name to a product that we've been testing out. But I seen another thing on a group page where I don't know, I didn't have the volume up, but looked like the guy dropped his rope or something. But I seen where Greg Staggs did a video talking about a gentleman that fell out of a tree saddle hunting. Normally, for the last, I did a year's worth of research before I ever got into saddle hunting. Watching other people's videos, researching what gear I wanted to buy first, and at no time have I ever heard of somebody getting hurt from saddle hunting, which luckily this guy did not get injured. He actually was able to climb back up the tree and harvest a deer that afternoon. But one thing I want to go over is when you have I always use a 40-foot rappel rope, whether I'm using my sticks or if I'm using my, like today, using my one stick. I'm always connected to this tree. One of the videos that we've done recently was I was talking about getting slippery, the tether wanting to slip down the tree, and I have a tether stop on there, and was trying to look at a way that on this one here, and I still use it because while I'm testing this one out that is on this Quickie V3 quick lock system, I'm still using my other one that I had bought. This one I've had for almost 4 years now. It come from Eastern Wood Outdoors when I ordered my rope. My rope is going on the same age. Now I was using before this just a V-shape a V-shaped which is climbing rated, but you have to twist it every time to lock it into place. So I wanted something quicker and easier, and when I sent on some post a guy named Daniel Botcher, I think is his last name. I had to look it back up in the messages because found it, but it worked only with this notch Quickie V3, but it always keeps tension on it, versus where this one here, as you move up, you got to move this either down to get you some slack in it, or either move it up. Another thing is is on your carabiners. Before you go up the tree or down the tree, always make sure your carabiners, you can get the kind these twist, and even if it's not all the way, it will not let it open. You can get the kind that are quick lock, so they lock back as soon as they snap. Then you have to twist the little thing and push it back in to open it up. Those are great. These are just the ones I bought when I first originally got into saddle hunting. So keep that in mind. Always check your gear when you're going up before you come down. Make sure all your carabiners are locked, everything's in place, because safety is the key. Because we want to come in the woods and get out of the woods the same way. Walking in, not having to have somebody call for help and have somebody try to find you. Because sometimes might not be like today, where I'm just not far from the road. Could be a mile and a half back in a piece of public land or somewhere like that. Another aspect of it is if you're looking into getting into saddle hunting, research. Just because I say, hey, this is what I use, and Joe Blow has something else, that doesn't mean everything I have is right. It's just what I have found to work through my research of getting into saddle hunting. That's one reason why me and my brother wanted to start this Saddle Nation Outdoors, is to kind of also help guide people into what we use, and they can make their decisions from watching us. Other people that have YouTube pages and TikToks and Facebook pages, groups and stuff like that, I suggest buy once. Now granted, I still buy stuff, but I buy stuff to upgrade, like platforms, getting lighter, stuff like that. But my ropes, my carabiners, all that kind of stuff, I have had for almost 4 years now. One thing I did see when I was doing my research was a gentleman that saddle hunted but used sticks. And in his thing, he was saying after falling, he had climbed up the tree, had his tether, the very top step, somehow or another come loose, slipped down the tree, and he was using aiders on his steps. Well, that meant he was at least probably, I'm going to say 10-12 foot probably from his next stick. He said the tree was too big for him to bear hug and climb his way back down. He had sat there for hours on end, it seemed like, the way he said. But he ended up having to take his pocket knife out and cut his rope to get down out of the tree, because this is a Mavrock, which is a descender. When I pull out on this, it will let me rappel down. On a tether, I think he had, I don't know if he had some type of hitch on there, or if he had, like on this one here, I got a Kong, and it kind of works the same way. Kind of hard to do this with one hand, but when I pull this, the rope will release. As soon as I let go of it, it is not coming back through. But if I wanted to go up, I can pull slack and then it locks back again. So which there's other descending devices. I always keep an extra tether in my bag, in my saddle bag, and that's mainly for like this tree here, for going up and around limbs. So before I take this loose, I'm always going to have some other anchor point anchoring me to this tree. This is my lineman's rope. It has a Kong on it also, so it makes it easier. I don't have to fiddle around with a Prusik knot, trying to sometimes one-handed. Most of the times I've always had to use two hands, because one that came on this tether lockdown saddle when I first purchased it years ago, it was a pain in the rear. So I ended up, I don't know if I can, so my bridge now is a 6mm rope with a scaffold knot on it, with an oval shaped carabiner, and then on this side another oval shaped carabiner with a Kong on it, so that I can adjust it quicker. So that's just kind of some of the safety aspects that I had on my mind this morning. So y'all be careful out there. And if you need advice, hit us up on our YouTube page. We do have a TikTok now. I'm still learning that TikTok stuff. But don't feel, ask people's opinions, because before I got into it, I asked, would watch somebody's video, I would comment on it. Sometimes you get a response, sometimes you wouldn't. I asked guys that I worked with that I knew saddle hunting. They just use sticks and like lock on. Some of them I think have platforms, but I wanted to get into one sticking. So a lot of it I had to do research myself, but I picked what I thought was best to fit me. So y'all do the same. Always remember, check your gear. And always let somebody know where you're hunting, because that way, if something does happen, they at least have an idea of where you're at. If it's a buddy, I know a lot of people don't want to give out their hunting locations, blah, 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 but at least let somebody know where you're at that has an idea of the area. So thank y'all for tuning in. If you hadn't subscribed, please do. We're trying to build our YouTube page, now our little TikTok page. So y'all stay tuned. Hope to bring y'all some more action before the end of the year's up.